The trailer of Sonic Colors Ultimate. Some praise it saying how good it looks, others rant about how bad the graphics are, with all the bloom and the darkness all around. I myself was originally very skeptical about this remaster, and I viewed it as a simple port with a reshade filter thrown on it. But upon looking to the screenshots, view our second video for more details, I was reassured of the work poured into this game, even though it's still far from perfect, but that's a story for another video. And it seems it's a feeling I share with many people on the internet. Which brings us to a somewhat strange observation. The trailer apparently looks worse than the screenshots, even though they're from the same game, which sounds a bit nonsensical. Or is it? Because in this video, we'll investigate why this trailer does look so bad compared to the screenshots and the gameplay. We'll investigate 3 suspects: the compression, the change in the build, and the post-recording filters. Spoiler alert, it's the third one, and then discuss our interpretation of why they did that, and finish on our final thoughts. There will be timestamps in the description, so you can jump to wherever you want in the video, although there should be around 10 minutes left so you won't be bored watching it entirely. We hope you'll enjoy this.
Objection! Hold it!
Comparing the trailer to later footage requires to find a place which can be found in both. And I chose this. Investigating the hypothesis of compression is of course the first thing we did. How? We simply had to put the high-resolution screenshot in a video, and have moving objects except at the complete end. Basically, moving stuff is what makes compression look blurry, then compress the video and see if the appearance matched. We used 2 methods to compress the video, modifying the export quality in our video editor, and we also uploaded to YouTube, then downloaded. Then upload the download enough time so it becomes compressed enough. Then, we just had to compare these compressed versions to the trailer. And the comparison clearly shows that. Showing the importance of this factor is quite hard. The best way to prove there was a change in the build would be to look at stuff and see if there is no other explanation for the different look, which sound very vague, and for a reason, because it is. And through comparing the trailer to later footage, we couldn't find any significant difference at the exception of the way colors were handled. But we can also take the problem upside down. Instead of showing an eventual change in the build, we can show there are none by explaining the differences by other means, which is definitely more doable, but is still limited by our capacity to catch the differences, and made very hard with the compression. In the end, I cannot tell if there was a change in the build. My uncle doesn't work at Sega, but I do think that if there was one, it must be minor and doesn't impact the game in a meaningful way. Why? Because we can explain the change otherwise. We can explain it with the. To prove that post-recording filters were the main factor involved in making the trailer look bad, I tweaked the screenshot with various filters, putting it in the video of the trailer to have the compression work with the same context, then compress it. Finding what filters to use was complicated, as our only solution was simply to modify stuff till I thought I found the right track, continue in this direction for super long, then understand it was not the right track, and go back to my work I made 3 hours earlier. These are 3 hours I will never get back. But after an amount of time I don't know and don't want to know, I came to this. By applying those filters you see on your screen and reducing the file size, we obtain this picture. Note this bright uniform part that isn't in the original, it'll be important later. And now look at this.
Objection!
Remember what I said about this part? It's uniformly bright with the filters, but there's 2 shades in the original, with the center being darker. As you can see, in the trailer, it's also the same shade on this platform. Exactly like the filters. And here comes my proof. If we manage to modify this picture from the trailer to find there are effectively 2 different shades, that would mean it was originally like in this screenshot with a dark area in the center, but they modified it with filters similar to the ones I found. Let's recap quickly. The build was not changed, or at least not in a meaningful way. Compression is a part of the problem, but is only a side problem, because the main reason this looks bad is because of post-recording filters similar to these ones on your screen. So why did they put filters in the first place? We enter in speculation territory, but my opinion is this: they've got this remaster they know is not super advanced technologically, and is just, well, a remaster. The marketing team creates this trailer and notices that new games have a tendency to have more contrast with very dark shadows and bright reflective surfaces, which is good, because this is how real life works. So they try to reproduce it with post-recording filters. Problem: these are post-recording filters, which don't look nearly as good as if this was an in-engine high-tech lighting rendering. You don't make a next-gen game by slapping a filter on it. So these filters emulate the realistic look, but very badly. However, it doesn't look too blurry at this point. Look at this approximate reconstitution. It's not that horrible, and you can still see a lot of details, even though it's a lot darker overall, and seeing these details is much harder. But then comes the compression, and all of a sudden it becomes this. All the darker regions are now super blurry, and you can't make out anything. All the details are gone. Because, well, it's compression. Compression makes dark things blurry, that's how it always has been, and how it is in this trailer. The marketing team sadly didn't care a lot and didn't watch the video after that, possibly because they have other stuff to work on, like the rest of the Sonic Central. Maybe there was some kind of crunch to finish the event? And if you don't believe me they didn't have time, let me remember you there are in this trailer frame rates inconsistencies and frames going backwards in time. Can you seriously tell me they had time to finish this? So anyway, they then post the Sonic Central video containing this trailer without checking in any way if there's something wrong with it. And the rest is history. But that means something some people will be okay with, while others will not take that very well. That means that Sega didn't fix the game. They fixed nothing. Lots of people claim Sega have listened. And they're currently working on making the game look better, and that the gameplay shows that. But no. What you see in the trailer is the same game as what you see now. And as the game releases in only 2 months, this is what the game will be at launch. Unless there is a delay, there won't be a major graphics fix. This is the game. You may love it, you may hate it. But consider how it looks now. Will be pretty much exactly how it will look in the end. The end.
See you later.